Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming. The next event is almost upon us, and with this, the new deck has been released. So then, the next Commander event, Fear of the Dark, features a Dark Corrupt deck, which has the same type of leader skill as the previous Water Slayer deck. This new leader skill buffs all Commander cards, which gives the ability to mix and match cards to create a deck that has the potential to deal massive damage. As this is a corrupt deck, there should be a few relics available. So let us get into the deck. This is the first card, the Master Collection card, which is called Aswang. Aswang has a leader skill, and let's take a look at the leader skill. Its leader skill is 300% damage and HP for all Dark Commander heroes. So this will buff all cards as long as they are Dark Commanders. Its battle skill creep up to 10 Dark Power Gem 4s at a rate of 2 plus 2 per 75 Dark Commander intensity. And all that means is, before you get up to 75 intensity, you'll only create 2 Dark Power Gem 4s. And for every 75 Dark Commander intensity you generate, you'll create an additional 2. So it will create a maximum of 10 when you get up to 300 Dark Commander intensity. Its cooldown is 12 and its cooldown is 6 and its charge rate is 12. So next card is this one, Menacing Tikbalang, if I pronounce that one right. And Tikbalang has a leader skill that gives 325 damage and HP for all Dark Commander heroes in GVG attacks. So these are the 5-star stats. Its battle skill create 2 Dark Power Gem 4s and heal for 750% of hero recovery. Charge rate 9, cooldown 6. So that's quite straightforward. It creates 4 Dark Power Gem 4s and gives you 750% recovery. So next card on our list is our ultra rare, and this card is called the Nightmare Schism. Its leader skill is the same. It's the same as the Master Collection card, which is 300% damage and HP for all Dark Commander heroes. Its battle skill decreases damage taken by 15% and create 2 Dark Power Gem 1s both now and for the next 3 turns. So its charge rate is 9 gems, which is good, and its cooldown is 5, which is a bit long, but it is what it is. Next card is your support card, everybody's favorite. I know it's mine because we can all get one. The support card is called Manan Nangal, the Wicked. It has the same leader skill as the Ultra Rare Master Collection card. It creates 5 Dark Gems both now and for the next 3 turns. Charge rate 9, cooldown 5. So for 4 turns it will create 5 Dark Gems. That's good. At least we will have enough gems on the board to match, so we can actually generate our Slayer intensity. And that card is actually the one that generates your Slayer intensity. So 2 of those cards wouldn't go amiss. 2 of those cards would really be good. So other cards that are available in the 5-star collection this week. So from the 5-star collection, we can get a event card, but we can also get a copy of this card, Victus Lord Killer, which is a warrior corrupt, and it's a Dark Commander, so it can be added to the deck. And what this card does, its battle skill, it decreases damage taken, so it's a hammer card. This card, Mondo Nihil, is an attack Dren, but it's a Dark Commander, can also be added to the deck as well. And Mondo Nihil is a card that deals nuke damage. And last but not least is this one, Shepherd of Souls. It's a god card, so it's an attack god. and it's a dark commando, so also can be added to the deck. It's a dark commando, and it's a turn delayer. It delays the enemy turn by 1, and it does a bit of nuke damage. So out of all of those cards, I think the ones that I would really want is Mundo Nihil. I have 1 copy, but I could do well with another copy, or the event card. So in the news link this week, they have made one of the changes that I will highlight is Overkill and Ultra Kill bosses. They now use solo boss keys. This is one of the changes that I think it's a change that I really don't like, because at the moment I particularly struggle to get solo boss keys. So to start using solo boss keys for these bosses will basically hamper my ability to actually do well in the solo leaderboard, which is a downer really. I prefer when it uses stamina. At least I can farm stamina from the quests. So legendary trial this week. Legendary trial this week, I was able to actually defeat 3 of the bosses, which is something that I've never done before. Most of the time I am only able to defeat 1 boss, and some of the time takes me 2 days to defeat the 1 boss, because I would use all 24 keys that I've been given, and then I would have to wait a 24-hour period to get 3 additional keys, so it would take me 27 keys to defeat 1 of the boss. But this week I was able to defeat 3 of the bosses. Absolutely amazing, and it was all down to this deck. Now if you take a look at this deck, this was one of the decks that I was using during the Slayer event, and as I said, this was one of the decks that generated the most damage output. Really powerful combination, and I'm just gonna go through the lineup of this particular deck. To the left of the screen, we've got the Draconic Irrigator. Its maximum damage output when the board is filled with Power Gem 4s and Power Gem 3s is 3.4 billion. Helga, High Tech Brawler, her maximum damage is 18.2 billion. The Fist of Islam, damage output 19.6 billion. Esteem Holder, damage output 16.6 billion. And Dr. Nunat, the Reborn, or Dr. Nunat Reborn, damage output 19.6 billion. So between Fist of Islam and Dr. Nunat, they're putting out almost 40 billion damage, and this is in the Legend Trial event. It's not in a Slayer event, and it's not even in its own event, and it's putting out that damage. The total damage put out by this deck when the board is totally filled with Power Gem is 77.4 billion damage, which is really, really good. And how I use this deck is, once I've powered up all the cards, I just keep swapping the gems to get rid of the armor. Then I just play through using Draconic Irrigator for damage. As you can see at the moment, I've just died and the rebirth has been used, which comes from Draconic Irrigator. Instead of dying, you come back alive. And what this does, it gives you actually a damage output. And as you can see just a while ago, the damage output went up to 20 billion from Dr. Nunat and 20 billion from Fist of Islam, and Elga put out a damage of 19 billion. So the damage output actually went up when I used the rebirth from Draconic Irrigator. But without that extra damage output, if you look at this, and this will be the maximum output, as you can see, if you look at Dr. Nunat, he's putting out 19.4 billion, and Elga is putting out 17 billion. So you can see the damage output of this deck. And this deck actually took me 2 fights to actually defeat the boss just 2 fights. And as I told you before, most decks before take me 6 or 7 attempts to actually defeat one of these bosses. So look at the damage now. 19.6 billion from Fist of Islam and Dr. Nonat. And if we just look, we can see, if we just scroll down, you can see the damage output and the attacks. 2 attack to actually defeat that boss. So 2 of attack would be 6 keys, and you have a maximum of 24 keys. So I actually use 18 keys to defeat 3 of these bosses. So I actually summoned 3 of these bosses and used this deck to defeat all those 3 bosses. So I think the change that Network has brought to the game is a big improvement, and I hope this improvement continues into this new deck that we currently have. But anyway, I'm really happy with this deck, and I hope the improvements continue for future events. I'm really happy with this deck. Can't say how much this deck has actually improved deck building and has brought life once again to the game. But anyway, this is Octane saying, as always, like, subscribe and share the video. Leave a comment below. So enjoy the rest of your day, and peace.